King Rex coming back at you with another euchre video. This video we're looking at third seat orders. I did a video that was kind of a rebuttal video to someone saying that you really shouldn't call from third unless you have a line. This I just want to take a little bit more of a look into third seat orders. Uh, what you should learn is that some people are just too afraid to call from third seat. They probably called the same from third as they would from other positions, gotten euchre, and just think it's a bad seat to call from. You do have to be more conservative on those third seat calls, but you can't be totally afraid of it. There's a lot of players that play what I call hope euchre, where they hope their partner will make the call that they want if the card on the top of the kitty gets turned down, that they'll just call the suit that they're hoping gets called. If you have a really good hand in next, chances are your partner doesn't have anything in next, and so they're going to be more reluctant to call a hand like that. A lot of people will make their reasoning fit their decisions rather than make their decisions fit their reasoning. That's not a good way to go about in life. This is for people doing euchre, but even overall, you should not do that. You could be leaving a lot of points on the table from not calling from third. A lot of times you pass that good hand in third thinking they're going to pick it up. They turn it down, and then if your partner doesn't call something, the person in second seat's probably making a call and making points on it. I'm not advocating reckless calls, but you do need to call good hands. You should be wary of ordering the right bower up to your opponents. Basically, when the right bower is up on the kitty, there's a very good chance that your opponents will pick it up anyway, or your partner. So you should be a little more careful. But there are hands you definitely should order up from third that have the right bower in them. Example of two hands that you could order to right up with. Let's say you're sitting in third and the Jack of Hearts is sitting on top of the kitty. Now, I did give some pretty good offsuit here, but you wouldn't necessarily even need that. If you're sitting with four trump, even if your offsuit's bad, even if it's took that both aces out, put the nine of hearts in there for a four trump and some other nine, you should still order that hand. Um, Simply because you got four, there's only two that you don't know where they're at. The likelihood is that they're not both in the left-handed opponent's hand. If they were, he would have picked it up anyway. So you're really only giving up 1 point. The other thing I would say is if you look at the hand on the bottom, kind of the same thing. Um, you'd have left ace king and offsuit. If the offsuit wasn't quite that good, definitely both of these hands would be hands that would you should call it right up, but don't call anything that's not very strong. If it's a situation where you don't have, that's a situation where you the only thing you're good at. Let's say the right was up and you had queen 10 9 of hearts and two other offsuit nines. Your hand's pretty much garbage. You're probably might even be better off ordering it, or you might just say, well, they're probably going to pick it up anyhow. The hand I wouldn't call up the right, but I might just call it up if, say, the ace was up there or the king, and I just say this is the best I've got. If anything else is trump, I'm not taking a trick anyway, so I might as well call it. Simple, simple thing that you can remember if you want to know how to order from the third seat. Um, Basically, you can do a point system. If your hand equals 4 points or more, you can call. You don't have to call, however, there's sometimes where you might have those 4 points and you wouldn't call. Basically, count the points in your hand. If you have the right bower, that's worth 2 points. All other trumps worth 1 point apiece. All aces are worth 1 point apiece, and being two suited is worth a point. It might be a situation though. Let's say you have two low trump and you have an ace tripleton, which would be two suited. Let's say the ace of hearts is on the kitty. You have the queen and ten of hearts. Let's say you have the ace, king, queen of spades. I can still see you saying, well, that is technically worth 4 points and not ordering on that. I tend to like having at least three trump in my hand before ordering. But I also do avoid ordering the jack up unless it just is a situation where I have a really great hand, even with them having the right pattern. I'm going to look at a few examples of hands that people kind of argued with me about not being good, but I think they actually are good hands. Well, either argue with me or not. They're from the actual other videos to a point. Some of them are. First one here is the ace of spades on a kitty. You have jack, jack, king, meaning you would have three to four eyes trump, and the last one would be in your left-hand opponent's hand, so you would know exactly where it's at. important information to have. And yes, you do have a jack of hearts, but if hearts isn't called or clubs, you could be really far with diamonds. I administered a thing called Call Buddy. And it said call spades. It said if you call spades, you would average 1.45 points, where your opponents would be basically dead even if you pass. Or your opponents would basically, your difference is 1.44. So 99.6% if you pass. Well, the 99.6 is your chances of winning the hands. So it'd be very rarely for you to get euchred because, first off, you're not going alone on this hand. You're not sneaking the 10 of clubs and jack hearts through. So you do have a partner, even if they don't. There's usually a good opportunity for your partner getting a trick. You have two guaranteed tricks and a third trick that's pretty probable. If you pass, let's say it's a plus zero point 0.4, so it's a point, more than a point less per call to pass. That's a pretty big drop. You only have a 53.9% chance of winning the hand, so you're just a little better than 50-50. You're cutting your odds almost in half. And if you go alone, which like I said, I wouldn't, you really aren't doing very well because this is a hand where I could see you getting euchred going alone, but we're not talking about going alone. We're talking about, although it does say you win the hand 2/3 of the time, or at least score points 2/3 of the time. Probably not getting a loner through, and there's a chance you're getting euchred if somehow the dealer's loaded and trump and they got some aces to hit your offsuit. So don't call it alone, but definitely call spades. It has a little guy down here, that means it's an loner. Next one is here we have Jack, King, and Queen of Hearts, an offsuit ace, and an offsuit Jack of Spades. This one's saying 1.22 points. It's even better alone than the last one because you have better offsuit. But again, it's 97.7% chance of making it, even though it's not as good as the last one. It's still really high. If you go alone, you got a 75% chance of getting at least a point. If you pass, you're looking at a 50-50 chance. So you're once again, these were last two hands that were recommended by the person in the last video. You should pass them because you have flexibility. You can do well. You have the other suits covered for the most. Well, you don't have hearts, diamonds really covered. So like I said, passing not good here. And this is what I got into an argument with because it was ace 10 9 of diamonds and two offsuit aces. So you could say, well, I got two offsuit aces, which it's a pretty good hand. But if diamonds is not trump, this offsuit ace is really because the queen, 10, and 9 are gone, meaning the only cards that would be left would be the jack and the king out in the wild. So your chances of getting that ace through are pretty low. You'd almost have to run into a situation where your opponents are voiding trump or something, where they both have those other two diamonds when your ace take them out. So yeah, passing this one I think is pretty bad. It shows you score a point calling it. Calling alone says 0.67, so you can even, I wouldn't go alone here, but it says you can do it. It's a strong enough hand, it actually brings it up. But a tenth of a point here, so it's 0.9 points per pass. Your chances of winning the hand is less than 50% if you pass. It's almost 90% if you call it. I didn't understand how I was doing this at the beginning. This is if you win the hand, not win the game overall, which is what I thought they should put over because they do ask the points in this that are on the board. But yeah, you should be calling these hands. Even this one, you don't even have any jacks. Now, if this was the jack of diamonds, it would significantly change, but it's only the queen. Now, Now, there was two different computers. This is the same hand from last time. One said the EV was actually better to pass, which makes little to no sense because your diamond suit is bad. And I don't know if it was having a lot of pickups in that you were getting euchers on, but I don't think passing's as good. That's why I kind of doubt some of these simulators. I think this one is the way they programmed it. It just does weird things. It says you get euchred 20% of the time if you call it. If you pass, either your partner calls or you euchre them. So you got 70%. So it's 10% less you score points in that. 0.09 points per hand. That's really small, but I'm thinking there's a big disparity there. That's the thing with these. So you kind of have to, having played enough euchre, I know that would be a good call. three trump and two offsuit aces. Even if you're handing them one, you got 5 to 10 best cards on the table. And you got to figure the other five are just going to be split up in some manner. I mean, yeah, sometimes you'll get euchre, but not. I don't think it's 20%. They'd almost have to have a loner to euchre you if you're ordering that up. Then they're scoring a point anyway. So the thing is, this is a bad call. And the previous one, like I said, you literally have to run into a situation where a dealer has the loaner to get euchre. When one person argues all the dealer needs is three trump after picking up and two of any offsuit, the best spade to have a chance to have you in a bad spot. Yeah, the dealer having three trump after picking up the two spades is a 4.2% chance. That's not very good odds. It also says seat one leads when your ace and seat two can trump in. There's only a 6.8% chance that all four trump cards would be split between the dealer and the his partner. That would include much of the above 4.2% chance. So you just can't add those two together because there are lots of hands where the dealer would have three trump and his partner would have one in the two spades. And he said, nothing here saying that the sim is significantly wrong. 20% of the time is way more than the amount of loner hands dealer gets. I would actually argue that I would say it's probably not true. That'd mean there'd be a loner. If it's way more, it means there'd be a loner every time the deal goes around, which there really isn't. But then you'd also have to look at the hand itself. The odds that the loner's going to pick that up, dealer's going to pick that up and have loner, kind of low simply because you have three of the other six trump cards. That significantly reduces the chance of there being a loner. Plus, you have two offsuit aces, so that would just lower chances of the dealer having a loner too. Um, when I posed the second sim to him, which was on the previous page, he said that simulator shown time and again to not be accurate. When I asked him how it's shown it, he would not answer me. My guess would be that the proof was that it didn't match the first simulator they used, so that one has to be right. That's probably the thought process here. But like I'm saying, it's actually this is a good call. I mean, if you get euchre with three trump and two aces, that's just bad luck. We'll put in show some C3 calls I made. These are ones that have been shown before. Without you showing them again, this is just because I had these ones already on separated out. You can see here, king of clubs up. I have ace, queen, nine, and I'm two suited and I have an ace. So I do have the 4 points. A lot of people would not ever order this without a power. And these are, I mean, I don't know the person over here, but I know the two opponents are reasonably good players. Partner leads an ace, I duck, but that leads me to believe they probably don't have a trump card. We've got two. I lead my ace out. He did not have trump. I still have one left, and even with a lot of good cards being split between my opponents, I was still able to get a point there. I didn't get one out of my partner. Did need a little bit of help, but you don't always need that help. You just got to play the hand properly. There's another one. It's let me see here. Some of these are kind of quick on what I'm ordering. Ordering the king of diamonds. It's basically the same hand again. Almost two suited with an ace. It's the same basic hand. Um, Partner leads trump to me. Do you really want this out of your partner? Now I do have a decision. I could go low here, but I put the ace because it's higher than his king. So if he has a higher one, he has to throw it. Plus, I would want to force a jack out first. You want to get the jack out of the way if you can on these. You don't want to have to walk around it too much. Partner only has a king. I lead my ace. They'd have to trump it to take it, so it's preserves trump. It makes it. I decided to go ahead and lead the nine now, knowing that it can get over trumped. Hoping my partner can come in. My partner does come in and take one. She should have led the left. I would say that is a mistake. She should lead your left there. If your partner has it, lead a bower if you have one. I dropped the king of hearts because it's not a boss. Dropped the queen of diamonds. And my partner had the other jack there. She really should have led the right bower to me in the beginning. I would have just threw the nine out on it. But that's part of euchre. Sometimes everyone doesn't play the same way. Here's another one. It's ace, king, queen. They got the king. I got the left ace, queen, and I'm too suited with the king, queen together. Order it up. Partner leads me perfectly. This means we got our point. That's a great lead by the partner there. I know she still has the king. The only thing that can stop us is if they have the ace of diamonds, really, or if they get us on offsuit. He does a good offsuit lead here. I lead. Lead one more. Take her king out of her hands. Um, she had the ace of diamonds, but that was, I think, my best chance of making it. So, of course, we don't get two. If I would have had the ace on that one instead of that would have been reversed. I had the ace, she had the king and queen. You would have actually got two there. Here's another one. This is an order with the right bower up. I got left, ace, queen, and I'm two suited. The king is on there, so this isn't even as good as some of the ones people like to, but I've got at least two guaranteed tricks here, and I've got a partner and some good chances at more. Partner draws the king. I know that I got the left and the ace. So the king, queen are all equal. I could have put any of these out here. It wouldn't have mattered. She has to, but I know she has to put the right to take it, or we're getting that trick. And you're generally going to put the right there. I could have put any of those down. Could argue to put the left out there to ensure that they play the king. I mean the right. I take this one, lead my off jack, hoping to promote. Lo and behold, my partner has the ace, so not only do I promote, they get the trick. The king is a boss card, so I'm trumping here. Take this trick, lead the king, and hoping we get the last one. I actually had the right, but you see there, these hands just work. I mean, granted, you got to have a decent hand, but don't be afraid to order from third C if you have a good hand.